Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to paint some floral borders with the help of Camlin brush pen. I'm going to show you only one string and then you can utilize those in different medium like greeting cards or any other stationeries. I'm using this 24 set of Camlin brush pen. It has multiple color, and if I talk about brush pen, it has a flexible end and you can paint like a brush only, but this is auto filled brush. So we have different colors, different shades of brush pen, especially the green one. I have 4 shades in it, so green, light green, dark green, phthalo green and olive green. If you can see pink, we have 3 different kind of pink, so that's the benefit of having 24 sets of brush pen. But if you have a smaller set with minimum color in it, you can try practicing things on that particular stuff and then you can buy something like this. So let's start with the first one. So brush pen is also like a brush only, so we need to apply same technique to paint petals. So my first flower having round kind of petals in it, so I'm applying little pressure into my brush and coming back into the center again to paint something like this. It's very simple, you just need little practice around it. So what I'm doing, I'm going up and coming back at the center again to create a round kind of petals. This is medium size flower, not too big, not too small, and I'm going to repeat all this flower throughout the border. Now with the help of fluorescent pink color, you can use any other color as well, it's totally up to you, it's your choice. I'm creating few smaller flowers having simple structure of 5 petals in it. So I'm using tip of my brush and applying little pressure to create something like this. With the help of pink color, I'm creating the ovary of the flower and loop kind of structure to attach all these flowers in a loop. So I always prefer to do something like this. We're done with the flowers. Now let's start with the leaves. So I'm using olive green and deep green for the first one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a big leaf having a negative space in between. So I'm pushing my brush throughout, applying much pressure into my brush to create something like this, releasing slowly so that I'll get some pointed end in it, and I'm also keeping one negative space. You also need different shades of leaves and different size of leaves. So my second leaf is a little longer and 1 stroke leaves. I'm also keeping in mind that I need to create a border with similar width throughout the line. So I'm adjusting my leaf as per the space I have left. So if I need little longer leaf, I can create little longer. If I need smaller leaf, I can create smaller to just get the symmetry in the border width. So as you can see, I'm using different shades of green to create smaller leaf, bigger leaf, just to adjust things to look like it is a border. And we're done with the first one. Now let's move to the second one. So second one, I'm using peach and red. So with the help of peach color, I'm creating a rose kind of a structure. So a little circular shape and 2 big petal around it which is going inside and few petal which is going outside to create something like this. We need to repeat this throughout the border. So let's see once again, a smaller circular kind of a structure, then few bigger petals towards inside and few bigger petal towards outside. This is also medium size flowers only, not too big, not too small. And then with the help of red color, I'm just going to highlight few of the petals. I'm not covering all the peach color. I want to see those peach color, so I'm just adding few petals and few smaller circular kind of shape to highlight my flowers. I'm going to repeat this throughout the border, throughout the flowers. Now with the help of green color, this time I'm thinking to use light green and phthalo green maybe, but you can use whatever you like to. And then create a loop of flowers, attaching all these flowers with the help of green stems. And now you can create few leaves. So this time I'm creating one stroke leaves, having 3 leaves in it in a single group, one bigger, one medium and one smaller, and I'm going to repeat it throughout the border. You need to think about perspective of the leaves and perspective of the flowers, and then you can use different shades of green to add different element in your border. As you can see, I'm not doing too much. I'm just applying little pressure to create some different shapes of leaves. So that is something you can do, and just keep adding all these things. You can add more flowers into it, you can add more leaves into it, totally up to you, but make sure you're also thinking about symmetry of the border throughout. So that's why I'm adding little bigger element, little smaller element to make the border width similar throughout. Now we're done with the second one as well. Now let's move to the third one. So for the third one, I'm keeping things on the blue side, so I'm using these 2 color. So my first flower is like rose bird, so I'm having one smaller circle and 2 bigger petals to cover that particular circle, and I'm going to repeat this structure throughout the border. Now with the help of blue color, I'm adding 3 strokes flower this time. You can also consider it as leaves, but as we are using flower color, I'm saying it as flower. So these are the 3 strokes flower or 3 petal flowers, which I'm going to repeat throughout the border. Now with the help of green color, just attach stems to each flower. I'm using light green color. Oh no, this one is phthalo green, and I'm adding stems throughout the flower to create a border kind of structure. What we did in the first one, 2 stroke leaves having negative space in between, I'm going to repeat the same thing, but this time in smaller in size. So apply pressure into your brush to create something like this. Release slowly so that you will get a pointed end, and repeat it throughout the border. It's the border with the smaller elements, so I think it's very easy just to add small element with different shades of green to create leaf kind of structure, and that is all we want for this particular border. So I'm using olive green now to create small leaves. You can also use light green color. Quite simple, I think. If you're planning to start with the watercolor, I think you can use this brush pen. It is quite easy to use. And the fourth and the last one, I'm using these 3 color for the flowers. So these are peach color, orange and yellow. This is in circular shape, having negative space in between to create the ovary of the flower. And then with the help of orange color, let's create the ovary. First, And then we're also going to create few flowers with the help of orange. We need to use same color again and again because we cannot modify the color as this colors are auto filled. But if you're doing this with the help of watercolor, you can definitely try different shades of color to create all these flowers and leaves. I have to use same color again and again for the leaves as I don't have any choice because these are auto filled. But if you're doing this with the help of watercolor, you can definitely try something better than this, because you can adjust shades of colors for sure. You can use a lighter shade, you can use dark shade. Those things you can do with the help of watercolor. But when you do with a sketch pen or brush pen like this, you have to deal with the same shades of color every time. So that's the disadvantage of having auto-filled brush pen. But it's easy when you have no time to do something and you want to create quickly, you want to create a greeting card quickly, then you can use these things. So you can also provide these things to your children. I think it's a very good thing to start with. And we are done with all the 4 borders with the help of simple Camlin brush pen. So hope you have liked this video, and thank you so much for watching. See you guys in the next video.